All right, welcome back, everybody. This is the Lucent Truth, and we are the Lucent Troupe. Introducing the Almighty Matundo. Say hello.
What it is, y'all.
And Carbon X, you're next. Say what's up.
What's up?
And then Johnny Mozzarella. Say hello to everybody.
Hey, what's going on?
John, you coming in a little muffled. I don't know. Maybe you're gonna put your mic closer or something.
Oh, y'all can't hear me?
Yeah, that's a little better. That's a little better. All right. Yeah, and I am G-Flux the Great, G-Flux the Grand, G-Flux the Magnificent. Everyone, welcome back, and hope you had a happy Thanksgiving. Today, we're going to start off the conversation with the season 3 finale and season 3 in general of From. So, anyone who wants to start us off, chime in. Let us know. Let us know what you think about season 3. I hear some like rumbling in the background with somebody. I don't know who it is.
Probably old Matundo.
Well, you're gonna hear my life and hear it well.
Do you have your headphones on, Matundo?
I do.
Okay. All right. I think I don't hear it now. It went away. Okay. All right. So let's get started. So what did you guys think of the finale?
It's getting weaker. That story's getting weirdly weak. So I'll be honest with you.
I'll be honest with you. It was never really truly that much story to begin with. It was just really more like situations. But they haven't really revealed much of anything as far as actual story or plot, I should say.
I don't know that. I don't know. I think they actually revealed a lot in that last episode.
Yeah, I mean, definitely more so in this season than in the last 2 seasons.
2
before.
seasons.
Yeah. So, I'm going to warn the audience now. If you're chiming in, if you're looking in, we're definitely going to have spoilers. This is a spoiler danger zone. So if you have not watched the series or if you have not finished season 3, turn this off now. Because I'm just gonna go ahead and say that we do know now that children were sacrificed so that people in the town could have eternal life. Now, who they sacrificed the children to or what they sacrificed the children to, we do not know. They kind of hinted at this in previous seasons. I think, John, you mentioned this last time in the show that I forgot to press the go live button on. That they kind of hinted at it, but they confirmed it officially in this season, particularly in the last episode, and which I do find intriguing because I want to know, okay, who these people are, why they did this, who are they sacrificing these children to, why do their ghosts and things like that remain? How can they create this town that no one can get out of? Is it another dimension? Is it what's going on? Like that type of thing.
Yeah, for sure. There's still a lot of questions to be answered for sure, but they did reveal a lot in the last episode. We know now roughly around what time the town was created. We know that the Tabitha and Jade is reincarnations of Miranda and Christopher that they showed previously in the show. We know that they the original versions of themselves, obviously they've been at this for a long time, so they keep dying. Every time they get sent back, they're supposed to save the children, and then they keep failing, and then they get reincarnated again, and then the cycle continues. So we know for at least that they have been here before. We're not sure about the other people, as far as like what their connection is to the town and why they were brought here.
Yeah. My theory on that is that
they revealed who Jim was talking to in season 1 when he made the tower. They revealed that. They revealed like it's the man in yellow. He was the one who was on the other side
of the phone or whatever.
Of the phone or whatever. Yeah. So they did answer some questions. They raised a lot more, but they did answer some questions to give you at least where the story is as far as the people in the town.
Mhm.
They're at least giving you like, because when they start the next season, they're not completely in the dark now. You know what I mean? Because we don't know how long, like before, like how long Miranda knew. I'm assuming when what's his character? The guy who's been who was stuck there the entire Victor.
Victor? Yeah.
Victor, once Victor heard the boy in white talking to Christopher, he went back and told his mom everything. So we don't know how. I'm assuming it was like immediate, like all her memories came back and she realized what she needed to do. You know what I mean? But it was a very short period of time, and then after that, she died. They showed her die. They showed that in season. I mean, they showed that in episode 9, right? When Miranda had the vision. And it really wasn't a vision. It was just a memory of her past life, something that she experienced. So we don't know how long all the other incarnations had with that knowledge. And then, you know what I mean? As far as what they could do. Because remember, they didn't figure out, it wasn't until Bori got there till they had the talismans. So now they have more weapons. Now that they have more knowledge of who it is, what it is, or at least, some idea. And now they have more weapons to kind of come up with the plan versus the previous incarnation. So that does change the outlook of the story a little bit more, because now they're not completely in the dark about the town. And
I will say too that because they didn't make it too metaphysical, like they're in limbo or they're in what do you call it, purgatory or something like that.
right.
I think it gives them a little bit more avenues without it being too nebulous about what's going on. And I actually think it makes it more interesting. Because now they have to stick to some rules rather
Right.
than, we could just make up anything. I mean, they still have a lot of room to be creative. But I will say this: some people, like my uncle, he didn't like the season finale. I think it could have been stronger, but I was satisfied with it. I was like, okay, at least they answered some questions, and you got a death. What's his name? The father in the family. What's the guy's Jim? He dies, or it looks like that looks like a mortal wound to me. I don't know if he's gonna survive.
No, he's dead. There's no way.
Or he got his throat
He
ripped out.
he ripped his entire throat out. Like,
Yeah,
you're not coming back from that.
I don't see him coming back from that unless Julie can like do some kind of like time travel thing, or whatever. So you got two major characters who died this season: the Chinese lady, Tian Chen, whatever her name is, and Rick, the father of the family. Which Tian Chen made more sense to me. That one, because they were set up by the monsters, and they're trying to break Boyd. But the way Jim dies, it's like Jim is like, sometimes he's smart and sometimes they write his character like he's a complete idiot. Because go ahead.
I would say it's not as impactful. I don't have a problem with how he died. It's just not as impactful because I guess he wasn't so much. Tian Chen was like an anchor for the community. You know what I mean? So
that's not what I mean. What I mean is, I was convinced by the way Tian Chen got killed. They got set up.
Yes. Okay,
you know
yes.
Like they couldn't see it coming. Whereas Jim, he just, all right, clearly you can't beat these things. He knows that. He said it before in the past. You can't go toe to toe with these things. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he tells his daughter to run. He stays there, and he just gets killed. Like he it's almost like suicide. It just didn't make any sense. Like the way he died.
Yeah, I would say this. Like I understand the initial surprise because remember, all the monsters they never come out. They never come out during the day. So this happened during the day.
All the more reasons to run.
So so it's one of those things where it's like I get the initial surprise because I see what they were trying to do. Like he was surprised that this is something. And then when he said what he said, then he's like, oh, wait, hold on. This is the person that I talked to on the phone. Because initially he might have thought, okay, well, this is just another person that's came here or something. So I get it. So you're a little surprised that once he says what he said to you, okay, obviously he's connected to this place. You know what I'm saying? He's connected to this place. He looks kind of weird. Your daughter's comes up. She looks weird. She definitely doesn't look like what you remember. There's so many signs that says run.
Yeah.
But he's like, okay, let me pick up this stick. It's like, come on now.
See,
it's just not It's not believable. Like he's not the sharpest person, but he's not a complete idiot.
Yeah. Well, that's my point, and I don't even think it's that dumb. I think he's actually I mean, there's parts where he was like he was right, or it made sense that why he would do so. Like in the second season, was it the second season when he was like digging in the ground trying to figure out what's going on?
No, that was his wife. That was Tabitha.
But he was the one who
wasn't he trying to stop her?
Yeah, he was trying to stop her. Yeah,
not really, because that was kind of like her thing, and he figured that was the thing that she just needed to focus on to get her mind off of it.
No, he was the one that had the idea.
He was the one he's the one who was just like, yo, let's build the tower.
Yeah.
And try to get in communication with the outside world.
The outside world, yeah. That's what I'm saying. But, so he's not an idiot. It's just, look, I would have been more convinced by the death if he picked up the stick and ran, and then that thing just chases him down, and he's just shocked by it. You know what I'm saying?
He teleported in front of him or something like that. Like you couldn't.
Then it would be like
there was no way for him to escape.
You weren't going to escape. Yeah, you just weren't going to escape. You know what I'm saying? That would be like, okay, all right. Yeah, you just got. Right. There's nothing you could do about it, and it's
his death was definitely anticlimactic.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
There's no questioning that. But I do like the fact that they did kill off another, because there's got to be some type of consequences.
Yeah.
And outside of TNGN, you had the one girl who got killed at in the house, but you know she's not really a main character, so it's just like, okay, well, it sucks that she got shot by the cop, but it's like you don't feel anything. We needed to either. You know, we needed something to happen to some of the main characters.
But I think that's the problem. And I think we mentioned this last time. I think that, you know, they did a good job setting up the stakes in the second season with the weather changing and then the soil being poisoned. I think this season would have been much better. And they hinted on it in the first part of the season, but then the way they solved it was just so it was just plot armor, because remember they were getting hungry because they couldn't grow food. I would have kept that as all right, they're starving, they're getting weaker, you know what I'm saying? Someone dies because they're starving, you know, that to me would have kept the tension.
It raises the stakes,
But they just, we found some food by this random place, by this lake or whatever. Yeah, I thought that was a little like, you know, and I get it. I get why they did it, but that to me that's bad writing, because by saying that don't even have the part where the soil gets poisoned, you can't grow anything, because that was just a waste of time. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the point of adding that in if you were just going to give them,
because they couldn't figure out a way to write themselves out of it. See, I don't mind giving a fix, but make a fix that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind a fix. Make a fix that makes sense. Like they could have done something like, okay, well, we did this one thing and defeated this one thing, and now we can grow food or something like that. And so it gives them some kind of victory and some kind of hope, just for at the very end for it to be hopeless again, because some new thing. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But there are no victories. They never succeed at anything other than when Boyd kills one of them, and even that, you know, because
most of the town didn't even know about that though, so to them it's not a victory.
That's the thing.
Because they kept most of that hidden from.
That's the thing. They keep too many secrets. Like you would think look, in a situation like this, when things are this dire, there is no need to know. Everyone needs to know everything.
Yeah.
Don't be wrong. I get it. Yeah. Like the initial, like when all these people started coming together before they had the talismans, I get it, because you're in survival mode. When you're in survival mode, you don't have any time, so it makes sense. But they got to a certain level of comfort right? That was becoming shattered in season 2. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, you are stuck in a legit real life nightmare. You know what I mean? That became shattered. So instead of expounding on that, you're right. They just kind of just like, okay, well, we're going to give you a fix again. So that kind of defeats it defeats everything that they built up to that point. Because once you get to a point where you're comfortable, it makes sense for you to start talking about everything that you have going on, all the visions, it makes sense. But they never did that. They didn't really start talking to one another until the end of this season. Which makes no sense. You know what I'm saying?
Because you would think Boyd, as a military guy, would be like, "Look, we gotta have.
I need all the intel I can get.
Yeah, we have to have a daily briefing. Every town member meet up at this time of the day, and we're all going to talk about our experiences, what's going on, any new information. You know what I'm saying?
Anything that you've seen, you've heard, anything. I mean,
go ahead and give people warning, especially people who are relatively new and still adjusting. Hey, look, these things like to talk to you, speak to you in your head. If you're sensitive, don't listen to it. We have experienced every time something talks to you, it tries to tell you that you're going to get out. You're not going to get out. It's probably just going to lead to something worse. You know what I'm saying? Don't listen to it. You know what I'm saying? So, and if you have issues, we'll lock you up in the jail cell so you can't harm anybody until you get over it. You know, that type of thing. You know, look, I don't mind suspense. I don't mind drama. I don't mind any of that stuff. But you got to make it believable. And right now, what they'll do is they'll set something up. They'll say something like Boyd, he'll be getting tired of these things, and he was like, "Oh, we're always on the defensive. We need to go on the offensive." So he starts to he goes to the bus to look out to see where these things come from every night, and he's trying to formulate some plan to maybe he can catch one or whatever. And I know Homegirl talks him out of it, but to me that seems like, oh yeah, you might want to. That's a good idea. You might want to. Yeah, actually go on the offensive now that you have a little bit of comfort. Like you said, John, you might want to start seeing what you can do with these things. Can you burn them? Can you trap them? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can kill one. You know, I don't know if I don't know if Boyd's blood is still effective. You know what I'm saying? But you might want to get some bow and arrows, put your blood on it and shoot one and see what happens. You know? Can they get on, it'd be interesting. Can they be on top of a roof, right? And that still protect them if the talisman. Because you still on top of the roof, man, and you got them arrows.
I don't think so, man.
I think they have to be in enclosed.
Enclosed, yeah.
Yeah, I'm assuming.
Doesn't mean they can't set traps, though.
Right.
Yeah, and they can set traps from the inside, and set some kind of button or whatever.
Unless can fly or just climb really fast, you might have a little bit.
We know they don't go fast, though. Besides,
No, that we do know that, because remember
most of the time they don't do that, though.
I know, but you got to think, if the stakes are higher, then they're going to stop doing the whole toying thing, because they showed that when the wife hugged Victor and she had that vision of how Victor's mom died.
Yeah, Miranda,
and that thing trounced, chased her down. He
right,
didn't walk to her, he chased her down. So we know they can run. They're just toying with people. They just like toying with people. It seems like, there's a good chance that at night, if someone's out there, no one could survive, because they can run. They're almost like animals. And here's my theory. My theory is that they feed off of terrorizing people. So they're they keep people like lambs. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm kind of seeing it. They bring people to town and they terrorize them, and then eventually they just go all out and they kill everybody, and they got to bring new people to. You see what I'm saying? That's my theory. But I could be wrong. Did John Borg looks? Oh, okay. Look, you look almost like you froze there for a second, John.
Oh no. I mean, it's possible.
What's up, Mr. Vitti? How you doing?
Hey.
How you doing, man? Yeah, we can hear you.
Up, man?
Hey.
Have you been watching the show From?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, give us your thoughts, man. Have you seen all of season 3?
I have.
Okay. Yeah. Tell us what you think. Man.
I love the series. I think it's great. It's unpredictable. It's hard. I mean, it's hard to figure it out. Because
they don't be explaining nothing.
No. I mean, when I first started watching it, it gave me the feel of like it actually felt like what was that old movie back in the day? Phantasm, fast.
Phantasm,
Yeah,
Phantasm.
Phantasm. You remember that?
I don't think I remember as a kid. I remember seeing trailers for it, seeing it at the movie store when we went to go rent tapes and DVDs.
Yeah,
But
I
I
mean,
never actually watched
it
it.
just gave me that the way it didn't explain anything. It's just
Yeah.
you're just left in the dark, and the whole thing um about time. This last episode was just was amazing. I thought it was great. I said, "Wow, that's an interesting take." But yeah, I just it's just hard to pin down where is it going, which I love. I don't, normally watch it when I watch something, I already know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
When you really don't. Yeah.
Do you think that do you think because one of the things that I was concerned about when this first started, because I know some of the people who worked on Lost is, are working on this, and one of the criticisms of Lost is that it began really well and
Yeah.
they set up some really interesting scenarios, but they didn't really know where those scenarios were going. So by the time they
Mhm.
finished it up, it was just kind of like, it was anticlimactic, right? And that was one of my concerns about this, was that it might be a little bit too nebulous about what's going on, and
Mhm.
it's mystery for the sake of mystery.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think this last season, in the last episode where they explained just a little bit, like we know for a fact that the kids were sacrificed so that certain people could have eternal life. Now, who they
Mhm.
were sacrificing these kids to, or what it is, we don't know. But but I speculate that obviously it was part of the deal was that they kind of obviously they lose their humanity, they become more like beast, and they can't leave the town. These monsters, or,
Yeah.
so the people thought they were going to get eternal life, and they did, but the trade off was horrible. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah.
horrible. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I was thinking like it's that last episode with when the guy deciphered it and he said 12. It's like, could it be like music notes? And the guy was like, oh wow, yeah, that's you're a genius type of thing. And I thought to myself, because pardon the way my brain works, but I've been watching listening to that new Kendrick Lamar too, and he touched on that too with his song "Reincarnated," because Lucifer is that's where we got music from. So I said that'd be interesting. This is just my interpretation.
Yeah.
The whole music thing and them trying to tap in what you're saying, having more immortality and such thing, and them being sacrificed. I was like, yeah, that could be that. That was interesting to me. Um, but like I said, I don't know what's going on, especially with Fatima giving birth to whatever she gave birth to.
Well, that was the thing that built that Boyd killed, the smiling
Yeah,
one.
yeah, at the
Yeah.
beginning, yeah.
So there are points about those things talking to them and telling them that they can, if they just do certain things, then they'll get to leave. Those
Yeah,
points were right. So Boyd, in some sense, if you think about it, was justified in torturing homeboy. I know it sounds bad, but I get his reasoning. I don't know if I would have went the same route, but I get why he did it. You know what I'm saying? And thanks, who was that? Baron Murphy, for commenting. It is a great show. We're really enjoying it. We just hope that we hope that it doesn't get too. We hope that as they explain things, um, or we hope that it doesn't become so nebulous that when they do explain something, the explanation is not interesting. Because I think that's kind of what happened with Lost.
mm,
I mean, because they're on the third season now, and you still don't really know a whole lot, which I'm okay with. but you can't do that for like 10 seasons.
Yeah.
In my opinion, they should wrap this up in at least 5, at the most 5 seasons. Wrap it up. Go ahead and tell what's going on. And if it leads to like something more interesting that you could do, like maybe like a spin-off season or something, then that I'm cool. So yeah.
Yeah, but my question is, like, I don't know. It was like I said, it touched on a lot of things, like the bottles with the bottles on the trees that gave me that spoke to like Gullah tradition. I was like, okay, and then the notes in it, that's interesting. It touched on. I mean, it's a lot of things that I saw that was really interesting, and I'm like you said, I agree. I mean, I don't know what they're gonna start. I mean, they're starting to reveal some stuff, but I don't know. I'm cool with not knowing. like I said,
I'm cool with that. I'm just saying you can't have mystery for mystery's sake for 10 seasons straight. You just can't. You can't do it. I would even say you can't even do it for 5 seasons. You're gonna have to start revealing something, and whatever that reveal is has to be like here's my theory, or where I think they could take it and it'd be interesting, right? Let's say the creatures or the monsters can't leave the town. That was part of the Faustian deal that they made when they sacrificed their children. They get eternal life, but they didn't realize the trade-off was that they can't leave the town, and the only way they can keep their eternal life is if they bring people to the town and use them as cattle, basically, right? Terrorize them because they feed off terrorizing them and stuff like that. And, but what if, let's say, the man in yellow, right, was the ringleader of it all, and he wants his goal is to leave the town, but he can't leave the town, so he's trying to figure this out. He's been trying to figure it out since they sacrificed their children, however many decades ago, right?
What guy in yellow? What are you talking about?
At the very end, bro. The guy that kills
What, the thing that he said that was curious. He said you have to pay for knowledge or something like that.
Yeah.
Again, that to me it keeps on going back to like the whole idea with Lucifer with the tree, with the tree of knowledge and stuff
knowledge,
like
good
that.
and evil. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying though is what if his goal is to leave the town, for him and the other creatures to be able to leave the town and rule as these eternal demonic beings, right? To basically unleash hell and apocalypse on Earth, right? But they can't leave the town, so they've been trying to figure it out. And what if they ended it with them figuring out a way to leave, and that's how they ended? You know what I'm saying? And then it spreads all over the world. Like, to me, if they did something like that, that would make it worth it. Now, I don't know if they would do something like that, but I'm just saying. But it can't just be some nebulous artsy-fartsy, ending to this thing or whatever. Like, what's the motivation of the creatures? We don't know that yet.
Well, I just think it was more like
eternal life.
To me, I think it. Okay. Me watching my interpretation is that it was all the whole idea, the whole thing. I don't think they're in a place. I think they're in is a state of mind that they're in. Like when the daughter went and then she saw herself on the wall, chained up to the wall, and she was like, yeah, I saw everything. And then what's his name? The sheriff also seeing the same guy, when he saw the old guy chained up to the wall and the guy put whatever that parasite in him and stuff like that. I think the whole thing about hell and heaven is, and is like a state of a mind. It was just like
Here's why I disagree, because we know they can leave.
No. See, that's my whole point. Like when the mom left, she couldn't determine. That's the reason why she was yelling at the guy, stop the car, because she didn't know whether or not she was free or not free.
But we know, the audience knows she was free.
Yeah, but we know for a fact she was free.
Yeah, the audience knows.
Henry came. Remember, Henry came from a whole nother place. Mm-hmm. Henry was already on the outside. She came back with Henry.
Yeah. That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, but it is an actual physical place.
Yeah.
Where it exists at, we don't know. Does it exist in our dimension or another dimension or on the side of our dimension? We don't know, but it is an actual physical place.
Yeah, because those types of theories had more credence before that happened. Because
Right.
again, we were thinking, oh, are they in some kind of purgatory? Is this some kind of limbo? Is this some people were like, oh, it's a government experiment. Some people said that these things are like fairies or whatever. But I think her being able to leave and then return,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
much...
I think solidifies like, look, this isn't so nebulous to the point where I just think it's some kind of demonic
right.
curse or something like that you can get trapped into, especially if you have some kind of connection to the place. And my theory is that anyone who's sensitive to the place probably is a reincarnated version of someone who lived in the town and had
Right. The original town.
Yeah, the original town. Yeah. That's my theory. I don't know if that's true, but it seems like that's the case. Or at least we have two examples of that, and that's the mother. Who's the mother? What's her name in the family?
Tabitha and Jade.
Tabitha and Jade. We know for a fact that they are reincarnated people who lived in the town.
What? Okay, there I go again. That's what. Okay, all right. You ever seen before? You ever seen a movie before sunset? Before sunrise?
No, but let me pull it up on the thing so we can. You said before
sunrise. Before sunrise. The only it's a love. Okay. The only reason why I bring that up
is this a romantic comedy?
It's not a comedy. It's not a comedy. Well, it's a romantic movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, not even that. Scratch that. No. The reason why I thought of Before Sunrise, no, it's Wake in Life. Wake in Life, because the characters from Before Sunrise was in the movie Wake in Life. No, the movie I'm thinking about is Wake in Life. Okay. Now,
is this movie kind of like they got like a style, like a painterly style texture or filter over it? This Waking Life thing?
Yeah, it's like rotoscoped, Okay. There's a scene in Waking Life where the guy was. You ever seen the movie Waking Life?
No, I've never seen it.
Oh, you gotta check it out. All right, check it. Okay, it's a scene in the movie where the couple from he brought back the characters from Before Sunrise, and they were just the whole movie is just a conversational piece where they're talking to one another, trying to get to know one another, and they start having these esoteric conversation stuff. And there's one scene in Waking Life where he was telling her, he said maybe okay, when Adam and Eve were at the tree and they were about to eat the fruit from the tree of knowledge.
What's going on, Orlando? I'm sorry.
What?
I was just saying Orlando. He said hello in the chat.
And we're still trapped in that moment where they ate of all this stuff does not exist yet. What we consider reincarnation and stuff like that, we're still trapped in that moment. What if could have happened if they would have eaten up the fruit? But right now, all this stuff doesn't exist. The only moment that exists is that moment where the two of them are about to eat of that fruit. And that was the possibility, and that's what made my mind think of, when I watch From. Maybe I'm reading too deep into it, but that's my interpretation. Where when the last thing the guy says, when he rips the father's throat out, he said, "You got to pay for the knowledge." And then the tree with the bottles, and I just think this is. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I still think it's a state of mind type of thing, more so of a physical place. You can be in the physical, but it can be another place in your mind. And of course, these other people around them, like when she supposedly went out and found the father and stuff like that, you catch glimpse of the outside world, but you're still trapped in that mindset. That's my interpretation. I could be wrong, but
here's the issue with your theory is the kids. Okay, take Tabitha's kids. Julie and what was the boy's name? Ethan.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
those are her actual children, and Jim is their actual father, right? All right.
Yeah.
So her past life, when she was Miranda, she was actually married. Like Henry was her actual husband, and then they actually had, 3 kids? They had 2 twins, and then Victor. Oh no, they had 4 kids. They had the 2 twins that died, and then they had Victor and his sister. So they're actual people. You know what I mean? Like they're actual. Like Victor actually exists. You know what I mean? Like he actually exists.
Yes, it's
Henry,
not a figment
you
of
know
our
what I mean?
imagination.
It's not a figment of. You know what I'm saying? Victor was there, like way before she was even born. You know what I mean?
Saying is, it seems like there's actually
before she was reincarnated. Like they're actual physical people.
Yeah, it seems like there's actually something physically going on. It's not just something like where it's just a mental thing, like just some aspect of their mind is being, like they're in a room somewhere and they're connected to some devices or whatever, and it's just they're in some kind of like matrix like whatever.
There's literally other people at play, that's experiencing the same thing. If that makes sense, you know, even with Boyd, when Boyd was when they were going back through his I think that might have been in the second season when Boyd was talking about how he came to the town. You know what I mean? Like he existed outside of the town. He was moving his family, and then you know what I mean. So it's not like it's or
even
not like it's a mental thing. It's
the police officer and the ambulance people.
Yeah, like they physically was not there, and then they were brought there through whatever magic or whatever is going on, you know, with the town.
I think it's like a curse. I think it's a curse. I think it's the town is cursed when they sacrifice those children, and I think that there are people who are connected to it because of their reincarnated versions of those people, and the people who are in the vicinity or in some way connected to the people who are reincarnated, those people also get affected.
Right.
I mean, I understand, but I'm still trapped on that. I'm still thinking. I'm still hitting on my theory because the whole thing to even be in that place, it has to have that fallen tree. And that tree of knowledge thing. I keep on going on the whole Lucifer thing. And I think it's the whole it's to me it's biblical. All the stuff, you know, that I'm taking it as it's biblical. You know, the only way
I don't know how biblical it is, but I will say that when the dude shows up in yellow, myself, my uncle, my brother John, we all started calling him the man in yellow. And I know that H.P. Lovecraft, some of his inspirations was from a story about a book called The Man in Yellow, and you see that trope appear in a lot of different horror movies and series and franchises and books. In fact, I think it was in True Detective. In True Detective, they talked about the Man in Yellow a lot. So I don't know how biblical it is. I mean, obviously there's some biblical references, I think, but how strongly they're going to adhere to Christian mythology, I don't know. That's why I say it'd be interesting to know who exactly they're sacrificing these children to, and why do their spirits or their ghosts or whatever persist after all this has happened. Because we know for a fact they can't kill him, because even though we thought Boyd killed one, they just used a female as a vessel
bring him back.
You know what I'm saying? Now, to me, if I was Boyd, I would take that information and be like, okay, we know now what these things are capable of. We need to adjust accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right. Listen, like I said, you know, all the references I'm seeing, you know, like I said, the Immaculate Conception.
Aren't you kind of hodgepodging it though?
Huh?
Because you took this thing from Gullah Geechee, and then you taking stuff from
Gullah, you know, with the tree, with the bottle, that's you know, Hudun is is Christian and Catholicism, and mixed with you know with spirit, African spirituality, Abantala Ogun, Shango, and and the Orishas and stuff like that. I mean, it's all. It's all African spirituality at the
But if I'm not mistaken, though, there is no reincarnation in Christianity, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying there's no biblical references. I'm just saying
that's what I'm saying. That's the reason why I was talking about the whole thing that they're making that reference that the with the tree with the tree of knowledge, that is just an echo. It's not. It doesn't exist yet. That the whole state, like the reason why I'm still stuck on this, because the woman was still, when she saw herself on the wall chained up, and then the old guy that was chained up to the wall saying, "You're not supposed to be here," and I'm like, we don't, with the only language we have with the whole, about reincarnation and stuff like that. No, it's I don't know about reincarnation. I don't know about that. I'm just stuck on that. I just think I don't think this stuff exists.
I guess the way I saw it,
with Julie's character, she has the ability to travel through time.
Who?
At least
Julie, the
Julie,
daughter.
that's the daughter of Jim. She has the ability to travel through time. It seems like she has the ability to travel through time only in from.
She didn't travel through time. Her mind traveled through time. That's what I'm saying. It's the middle thing.
No, it wasn't just her. It wasn't just her mind. We actually had this discussion too. It wasn't just her mind. She physically, even though the boy was telling her like, "Well, you're just a traveler. You can't alter it." Now, that he could have meant, or it could be understood like she can't change certain events.
Yeah.
But she certainly could physically interact with her world, because we find out that's how Boyd was able to get the rope. Mm-hmm. So yeah, she can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she can actually interact. You know what I'm saying? She touched her father. In the final episode. So she can't. Now, can she stop certain events from happening? We don't know. So far, it doesn't say if she came back to stop her father from getting killed, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? But she can interact with the story that's already been told, or at least what we think has been told, because she's physically seen. We've physically seen her interact with the world around her. It wasn't like she was just walking around; she couldn't touch anything, and she was viewing it kind of like the third eye Raven. And well, actually, no, he could affect his world too, because that's the reason why Hodor was all tore up or whatever. So
it's similar to the lady in the kimono, because it seems like she's one of the creatures, but then she's not one of the creatures. Like,
she's definitely serving the creatures.
Yes, I'm saying it seems like she can be there and not be there. So there's something else. There seems like there's other types of entities there, because the creatures that come out at night, they're clearly physical.
Right.
Okay.
Whereas the lady in the kimono, she can interact with
reality.
Both.
She's spiritual and she's right.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird in that regard. Yeah.
Well, okay. All right. What you're saying,
I'm not disagreeing with you though.
I understand. No, I definitely hear what you're saying. I do agree. It makes sense what you're saying. The reason why I'm still stuck on that, and I think it's all mental, is because I can't think of his name. The guy who used to always carry the the lunchbox, who fathered Victor. Thank you. That's the reason why he kept all the drawings. So he said, I don't want to lose his memories, because he's the one who's been there the longest, and he's the one who understood, and that the whole thing with the boy in white.
Yeah, but I think Victor is just traumatized from having to live under.
I agree too.
Well,
But
they
why
expound
would
on
why
that.
would he? Yeah, but why would he say that? With the drawings, I understand. I agree with you. He's traumatized. No, how else you gonna?
That's his way. That's his way. Because remember, he was a child. Because he was a child when all this was happening. So that's his way of dealing with everything.
Yeah,
right.
Because basically he turns certain memories off in his mind, so he doesn't go fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He used their drawings. That's why when they he misremembered that the
part sucked, man.
was
That was
talking to the man.
episode.
Yeah,
That was a waste of episode.
And then when the homegirl, the crazy girl, she's not really crazy, but the one that killed her brother in the first season,
Sarah,
when she started asking him about, what was the day like, what was the weather like, and then that's how he could remember it. And that's actually a real method that people use to remember things. Like if you can't remember somebody's name, if you start remembering like what their clothing looks like, what their eye color, their hair, maybe how they smell, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Then you could it makes remembering their
unlock
name.
the rest of the memory.
Yeah. So I think it's more trauma, because I'm not disagreeing with you that this is that there's obviously they're having some mental,
I think it's again. I'm stuck on the biblical thing. Like when you bring out Sarah and her, killing her brother again. What pops in my head is the whole thing about Mount Moriah when God told Abraham to kill his son Isaac and he heard the voice of God telling him you need to kill your son.
That's a stretch, man, because remember she didn't.
But that's not. Go ahead.
Yeah, she didn't. No one told her to kill her brother. She
said she was hearing voices.
Yeah, but the voice was telling her to kill the little boy, not to kill the brother. Yeah, the brother got in the way.
Exactly.
And then she
the whole point, the point I'm making, I'm not saying, I don't want to make it seem that, the voice was telling her to kill her brother. I'm just saying the whole idea of voices telling her that she had to sacrifice someone for her to get away is the reason why I'm still stuck on the biblical aspect of it.
Yeah, but then if you're going to use that analogy, what you're saying is God is evil.
No, God is not evil.
Clearly, the voices that are telling her to do something are evil.
Yeah.
No. I mean, the whole point of the whole point of Mount Moriah was not God is evil. It was just God.
That's why I say that's kind of a stretch because unless you're just saying where they're using this trope.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah. I'm not saying that God is no. I'm just saying that's the reason why.
Although some of the early Christians, we call them Gnostics now. They actually believe that. They believe that the God of the Old Testament was evil because he was genocidal, he was vengeful, and then he was jealous. And they were like, well, the all powerful, all loving God can't be that. So they thought that the God of the Old Testament was evil, and they called him the demiurge. Mm-hmm. And they actually thought Lucifer was the good guy because he wanted them to have knowledge. Gnosticism. Yeah, really interesting.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the reason why I mean, because I'm thinking that's the source material for because he's in this story, in this series, I see a lot of references. It has to come from somewhere, and I'm thinking that of course they're using their own. The creator of the show is using their own interpretation and their own creative license.
I can see that.
Yeah. So that's the reason why I'm saying, wow, it just seems like biblical for some, because it's making a lot of.
I want to know who this man in yellow is, and I want to know if Elgin survived or not. Because homegirl messed him up.
Oh yeah,
I don't think he's gonna die, bro.
I think that was like one of the best parts of that episode.
Showing that. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, yeah. When Sarah, she had her little monologue and was talking to him, and just how they shot it, I thought that was like some of the best, or the best part of that episode. It really showed you like, okay, the stakes are high and someone's going to have to do something.
And they did a lot with, what's her name, Sarah?
Yeah.
They did a lot with redeeming her character. So to have her do something like that.
Yeah. It was really good.
It was actually really,
Oh, yeah. And I'm still stuck on it. And the woman's name is Fatima. I'm like, what? They named her Fatima too. I'm like, come on now. Like,
yeah, but she gives birth to a demon.
yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah, that's like I said. I mean, there's all these references, and they're little,
How does that reference the Bible?
Well, Fatima, I think is
Islam.
Yes, Islamic. Fatima.
Well, I'm talking about her story. Her story doesn't. How does that Fatima's story? How does that? What are the parallels between Fatima's story and the Bible, or a story from the Bible?
It means one who abstains or one who separates. It can also mean daughter of the prophet. Because I think, wasn't Muhammad's daughter named Prophet? I mean,
yeah.
The name comes from the Arabic root.
Yeah, from the Quran.
Means, it literally means to wean.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because all right, from the numbers, all right, just bear with me. From the Torah, from the Christian Bible to the Quran, they're all from the Abrahamic,
the part of the Abrahamic.
The whole thing was with the numbers in the bottles. It made me think of the Torah, because each, which I consider the fire language, Hebrew is, that's the reason why Hebrew looks like fire, because when the burning bush look, that's where that came from. So each character equals a number. So that's the reason why I'm saying, okay, that's the reason why, the numbers are in the jars, and that, I mean, it's just a hodgepodge of them putting a lot of stuff together and stuff like that. Naming the woman Fatima. I mean, like.
Yeah, but what? That's what I'm saying. You're saying naming the woman. Okay, well, there's a lot of different women. That's just one of them.
Oh no, it's only one Fatima. But that's.
No, well, what I mean is, it's like, okay, so her name is Fatima. Okay, and another girl's name is Sarah. And another girl's name is Tabitha.
Yeah.
And the previous girl's name was Miranda. Okay, so you have this one Tabitha girl. I mean, this one girl that's named Fatima. So
I mean, there might be some symbolic.
Yeah,
her name might be symbolic or something. I'm not.
Yeah, I mean, it has to be intentional. I think it's intentional. If you just think they just pulled a name out of a jar and just named him whatever, but I don't think so. I think it's intentional in what they're, giving her that name, and for her doing what she's doing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. With her story, I guess that's where I'm lost at with your theory. With Fatima's story, right?
Yeah.
Her name is Fatima. Okay. With the story that we've seen unfold so far, what about her story, other than her name, but what about her story relates to, or any of the Abrahamic religions? Like, how does it?
You're asking to tie together. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how that ties together.
To answer your question, I'm not sure, because I'm still watching the series. I'm trying to figure out what, but I don't think But the point I'm making, I don't think it's a coincidence, or they just put the name out of the jar. I think it was intentional.
I think that's totally possible.
Yeah.
A lot of times characters' names have meanings in narratives. I mean, I do that myself. Even if the name doesn't necessarily reveal anything about what's going to happen, but the name might have some kind of representation for their personality.
Yeah. I mean, right now I'm working on a script about the two boys selling sweetgrass roses. One name is Austin, the other one name is Charles. But I named that intentionally because if you put their names together, it means Charleston.
It's interesting. That's cool, because what I'm doing, right, I'm writing a little short horror story, and it's about like these scientists who study these things called they're called voids, like galactic voids, or not galactic voids, but they're called voids, and they're basically areas in space where there aren't really a whole bunch of galaxies, so they're practically empty. and each person's name in the story basically means seeker of darkness or seeker of void. But it's like, it's not that literal. It's just their names mean that. You know what I'm saying? So people do it all the time. So I'm not discounting that. I guess John was just was trying to ask, like, you know, well, how does a name kind of refer or reveal to anything that's going to happen or what's actually happened? Because I think if her name was Mary, and then she gave this immaculate birth or whatever,
right?
Then it would be like, all right, yeah, you know. But it could be that maybe she's just Iranian or Arabic, and that's a popular name. In that.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought Fatima. I didn't know it was Arabic. I thought it was what do you call it? Like Portuguese or something like that. Because aren't a lot of people in Brazil named Fatima? I could be wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a lot of. I mean, it was a lot of Africans brought to Brazil, and a lot of them were, Muslim. So I mean, that could be a case. I don't know. But I'm stuck on the biblical references all throughout this thing, and I'm I don't know. I mean, the only pushback I would give to y'all is whether or not it's this place is a physical place or it's a state of mind. I'm still stuck on the state of mind aspect of it.
I mean, I think there's plenty of evidence that shows that it's more than just a state of mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this season in particular kind of rules that nebulous, their minds are in purgatory, or their spirits are in purgatory or limbo, or they're connected to some device in the lab somewhere that's making them, I think this season kind of rules all that out.
Okay, I'm sorry. Another biblical reference is like the guy who was attacked. He keeps on hearing the sounds of lotuses and and buzzing in his mind.
I think those are cicadas, but I could be
cicadas.
Yeah. So I mean that's another biblical reference. I
think they kind of squandered his story arc. In this particular season. Maybe they're just setting up for another season. But it seems like what they were going to do was, because Boyd left him, that he was going to start basically either sabotaging them or trying to challenge Boyd's power. You know what I'm saying? And that was going to be their way of kind of getting.
That's what the female cop's doing, right?
Yeah, between him and the female cop, I thought they were going to they're going to try to oust Boyd, and that was just going to cause more problems. But they didn't really. They sort of set it up, but they didn't really follow that line. And the whole cicada thing is just kind of like, all right, well, yeah, it's happening, but they don't really explain it. So I guess we got to wait till next season before we figure out what's going on.
This opportunity. If he would have worked with a female cop, they could have did a really cool story with that.
Yeah, but they probably just didn't have enough. They would have had to make like a 15 episode or a 20 episode season to kind of explore all that, But if nobody has anything else to say, we can move on to another topic. Did anybody else have anything else they wanted to talk about? You guys want to talk about?
I think we pretty much covered that the final episode.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah.
And the season in general.
I think we hit pretty much all the bullet points for the last episode. I wonder if the only question, or one of the questions I had though, is how he's always seen the pastor or the priest.
Yeah.
Who is that?
I wonder is that strictly in his mind, and that is like strictly just his self-conscious talking. He's talking to his own self-conscious.
Yeah, I think.
Just because he's just in that place, it's kind of manifesting into him actually seeing it, or is that really just a place, and he's just trying to help him. Like that, I still haven't really figured out yet. Like I haven't really figured out if it's just his subconscious, or is he actually talking to the pastor, and in some way he's still there trying to help Boyd out.
That's the way I interpreted it. Was it's just subconscious. I will say this. You know which character is completely and utterly useless? Is his son.
His son.
Yeah, he serves no purpose at all, other than kind of
He
angry
really-
boy there.
He really doesn't. Like Ellis is completely useless.
Yeah,
Like he
the worst character, bro.
he does not drive the story. I actually kind of felt that way about Jim this season too. Most of last season too. But Ellis, yes, I agree. Like in all 3 seasons, he does not push the story forward. Like everything, he's almost like he's a side character to everyone else.
Yeah.
But
he did one useful thing, and that's when the big house was raided by the monsters. I think somebody let them in. Yeah, one of the girls let one of the monsters in. Remember, the whole house got raided.
One of the
he
guys
figured out, okay, you could get like a little small room and put something up, and they
right.
Yeah, he figured that out, but that's about it.
Because they got into like the closet, right? Or
No,
it was like the foyer. It was like the foyer. That's what it was, the foyer.
Yeah. But yeah, he's pretty much
Ellis? Again?
Ellis is the son of Boyd. It's Boyd's son, the main character's son.
Ellis.
Oh yeah. He's. I don't understand why he's there.
The other thing too is I know they figured out that a Akui means remember, but why does Akui mean remember? Like, how did they get?
Yeah, what language is that? Well, I think
How did they get that? Like, what is that?
Because remember, they're starting. They were like when he started playing this song, their memories started to come back. Their memories of their past life. So that's how they remembered that was a song that they told their children. So that's the only thing I could come up with. Like,
well, what is it? What is that? Is it? It's definitely not remember written backwards. Like what? Like what is?
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It must be some type of language or whatever.
Oh,
I don't know. That's a good question. The guy looked that up, but. Like that listen, all that's tight. I mean, the whole thing with memory, that's how you teach kids. I mean, if you want to teach them how to read or teach them anything, is you put it in song. I don't know, man.
But that's not a song though. It's just
Oh no, I know it's not a song. I'm just saying the whole idea, the using the physical vehicle, using the vehicle of song and music to tie that to memory. That's what they use for people who suffers from Alzheimer's or dementia, stuff like that. They try to put things that will jar them or bring them back into their right mind and stuff like that. But that device. But no. I mean, that's all I want to say about it. But I don't know.
The only thing I can really think of is it was a language that they spoke, like they're maybe the original people of that town, some type of language that they spoke. Because I looked it up, I think right after the show, and it's no actual. It doesn't come from any actual real language in the real world, so
yeah,
it could be something that they introduce. It could be something that they introduce in the next season, where it's just like this is the language that they spoke or something like that. But until then, it's still kind of a mystery. But that's basically what the deal was. Because the way that they shot it, I guess it could be a little confusing. Because I know my wife was just like, I don't understand what's going on. And I kind of had to pause and explain to her, like, okay, while he was playing the song, their memories were basically coming back, and that's the reason why Tabitha was all distraught, because that one little girl that came up that was her daughter from her previous life, and her daughter got sacrificed. So all those emotions are coming back to her. And that's the reason why Jade was crying too, because anyway. But
listen, I mean, I think again, I would say I still think it's a state of mind, because I don't think it's a physical place, because it's in the title. They named the show From.
They're from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
we don't know.
because
That's the thing. We don't know.
because they're reincarnated people from
reincarnation,
that
so they're
town.
from their town. They're from the town. I know. I say it.
That's what I think is.
People are physically dying. I mean, it's kind of hard to be a state of mind where people are physically dying.
But they're not really dying if they're being reincarnated, right?
Yeah, they are.
There's some people who aren't. Well, my
Think
theory
about
is
it. They get reincarnated as someone else. It's not like they got reincarnated as the same person. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
But
you're not really dying. But they're not really dying, really. You know?
I think that was part of the curse, though. The curse, even though that Jade and Tabitha, their reincarnations, or even though their original lives, even though that they didn't, because remember the original people from the town, they were trying to save. They didn't want to do it. They didn't want to. Whatever demon or entity or whatever that came, they were just like, nah, we ain't about this life. You know what I'm saying? But somehow the ritual was done anyway, and their daughter was a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So they're cursed just like how everyone else is cursed. But I think their curse is to keep reliving this nightmare until they can figure out how to save the children. And until they save the children, they can't break the curse.
I mean, she literally gets on a cell phone, calls her mother, and her mother's crying, weeping because.
Right. Yeah. I mean, many things have happened where it's.
Because I was thinking, well, how could this curse extend beyond wherever it is that Fromville is at or From Town is at?
I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
No. All I'm saying is when she left this town, where did she wake up in? She woke up in a bed, in a hospital bed. So she could have been in a coma. You don't know what, you know. When she called her mom was like,
she literally looked up on the internet all the people that were missing. We saw Boyd's family. We saw her family. She was literally looking up the people who went missing, who are stuck in Fromville. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not metaphysical. Like it's physically something that's happening. People are physically disappearing in real life. And I think like they showed us that.
And I think the thing that truly disproves what you're saying, Travis, is the fact that she started having a nervous breakdown, thinking that she was still in Fromville. But then it turns out, she actually was in real life. It caused a car accident. You know what I'm saying? And it led her right back to Fromville, to the town.
And because she was pulled back there, right? She pulled other people back with her.
Yeah.
Because Henry was there, the people in the ambulance, they had nothing to do with this to begin with, or I guess initially. But because she is being drawn back there, because she is the reincarnation of the original town person or folk or whatever, she pulled those people back with her.
And that's what I was going to say.
Has to have some type of, there has to be something that they can do out. It has, or the magic or whatever, the energy, the powers. It definitely goes outside of Fromville because that's.
But I think it's only with the people who are being reincarnated. And
yes,
and that's why when she leaves Fromville, she goes back to the town that has a connection to that place.
Right.
But it can happen anywhere. But you just have to have a conduit, which would have to be someone who reincarnation of someone that lived there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, because I agree. I think I don't know for sure, but I do think Elgin, he has some type of connection there, and I think because he was on that bus, it brought everyone on that bus.
Yeah,
there because he was the connection to
Sarah also.
Sarah, yeah,
and the old lady. The old lady who.
I don't think the old lady.
Well, she said something about her when she was playing with the tarot cards that something was calling her back to the town.
I think she did say something like that. I know.
I don't remember. I remember she was playing with the tarot cards, but I don't remember her saying anything about. I don't remember her explicitly saying anything about the actual town. she was saying that she did the tarot cards or whatever, and
because of her cancer, yeah.
because of her cancer and stuff like that. But I don't think she said anything explicitly that connected her directly to Fromville. Elgin said things directly that were like, okay, this is from Fromville, even before he got there. I think she just happened to be on the bus and got pulled there like everyone else got pulled there because of Elgin.
I know one thing, when she was trying to calm Fatima and read the cards and them crows came.
Oh yeah, that was pretty creepy.
I was like, bad sign.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, that's what I'm saying. Like, they need to start telling people stuff, man. They need to start talking to each other. Like, yeah. Yeah. But we'll move on. I did want to like talk a little bit about I'll pull it up real quick. Gladiator 2.
I still haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it either, but I figured we discuss it a little bit.
I do want to see it though.
I have no real desire to see it, but I'm not a big fan of the first movie either. So
yeah, I don't even like the first movie, but
I watched it.
Was it any good?
No.
Did you say no?
No.
Really?
Only no.
I mean, it's got Denzel Washington, it's got Pedro Pascal, it's got Peter Minaj.
Hold on.
Is that how you say his name? Peter Minaj, whatever. He was the guy who played in 300 and Spartacus. He was what was his name? Artemis. He was supposed to be in there too.
He was dead within the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Really?
You talking about Lance?
Artemis. I can't. His Peter Minaj or whatever. Peter Minaj.
But he was dead within 10 minutes of the movie starting. So
did he die in real life?
No, he's still alive. He's still alive.
Oh, who am I thinking? Someone like him died recently, didn't he?
Lance, what's his name? Bald-headed dude. Lance, he was in John Wick.
Yeah, okay. I know. Yeah, all right.
Artemis, Brian, from Spartacus.
I know for some reason I thought he passed away, but yeah.
But no, he was dead within 10 minutes of the movie. So I'm like, okay.
Well, that sucks. But yeah, I know. I guess technically he died very quickly in 300 too, but Spartacus gave him a shine.
And let's see.
I heard that the star though wasn't great. The guy who had speaking roles. Paul Mescal or whatever. Paul Mescal.
He barely had speaking roles. Like if you saw him, he was running somewhere or fighting something, and then like he wasn't a very compelling character. And it's might be somewhat biased, but Denzel did do the Denzel thing. He was compelling.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Denzel. What about Pedro Pascal?
He was there.
Okay.
He collected a nice check.
I mean, all the reviews on it right now are. It seemed like the critics like it so far.
Everybody who I've talked to who has seen it, other than one person, but most of them say it's just kind of like, eh.
Oh yeah.
And the fights look fake. Like whoever did the choreography, it's like
it wasn't well done.
Not at all.
No, that's disappointing.
Like you're gonna watch this movie like I could have done better with this in the backyard.
Yeah, I'm just like
I have not been blown away by any movie in a long, long time.
I liked Smile 2. I thought Smile 2 was pretty good.
Yeah, I have not seen that
either.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
But like I said, Denzel was good. The people who returned for the first movie were good.
Oh,
they knew
Connie Nielsen.
Yeah. He overdid it.
Oh, Joseph. Everyone said Joseph Quinn played a really good. What was he? He played the Emperor, right?
Co-Emperor. Him and his brother.
Oh yeah. I don't know. I'm still gonna check it out though.
I just have no real
Yeah.
desire. I wish they
For
would have
no
spent
other
this money
reason.
on something else, man.
But yeah, Denzel was he was the best part of that movie. It's not even being biased. Like he knew what he had to do.
Yeah.
Basically, like the main character, he was getting his ass whooped most of the movie.
What?
Well, he's a gladiator, right? So I mean, so he died. Like you can't get beat up in your gladiator. Like it's a fight to the death.
All right,
you see what I'm saying?
You got a point.
Like it doesn't make any sense. Like how you know what I mean?
He could have fought.
Well, I guess technically Spartacus got his behind. Nah, it's not the same. You're a gladiator.
Now in the movie, is he the son of Maximus and Connie?
Yeah.
Nielsen?
Yes, but
so how do they explain that? Because Connie doesn't seem like she's in dire straits. Yeah.
Well, what happened was this. Apparently, Maximus, when they were kids, because she was married off when she was like 14, and her husband didn't like women, so Maximus swooped in and they had a kid. But somehow, some way, like Maximus' kid in the other part of the world, he had a kid around the same time. So I'm like, that makes no sense.
Well, they had a fling though. I remember that. They had like a little fling. Him and Maximus and whatever, I can't remember her name. But Connie Nielsen's, like I remember they had like a little thing. So it depends. Like is Lucius is he like a little older than the son that died in the original? Because then that would make more sense. You know, if he was like a year older, 2 years older, it would make sense. When they had the little fling, she got pregnant. He eventually went off, married his wife, had another kid. Those are the two that got killed in the first movie. It would make sense as long as the timelines, kind of lined up.
Johnny Mott, what's the name of our show? What's the name of our show? Lucent Troupe. I'm gonna give you the truth right now. It was a cash grab. We need to connect this character and this character. Let's see
here. I mean, of course, it was a cash grab, but that's not what's being debated here.
I mean, that's it. And
what I'm saying is, does it make? Because to me, that's the easy way to make it. That would make sense. I mean, people have. Yeah, they have kids out of wedlock all the time. I mean, it's not like they
I'm not saying it couldn't happen.
It's not like they had condoms back then. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if he had like a little fling and she got pregnant,
they did have condoms back then.
Or maybe they did. Okay, but the point is like her getting pregnant is not so out of the realm of possibility back then. You know, once they had like a little fling,
and then you can tell there's a scene like in the movie with Denzel where you can tell he wanted to turn into training day Denzel. He couldn't. Like it was a fight scene, and you could say you motherfucker, he's right there, and it didn't happen.
Yeah, listen to this, John. The AI says, yes, ancient Romans used condoms to prevent the spread of venereal diseases. Materials, Romans used animal bladders, intestines, and lining to make condoms.
Oh, man, that sounds terrible.
Maximus did not wrap it up.
They used it to protect women from diseases like syphilis. Others say that Romans also made condoms from the muscle tissue of men they killed in battle. Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
but
all the things that they're using is like, it's like, yeah, it's like they're all.
Well, I'm thinking if they
have bacteria.
Yeah, but I'm thinking if they take like the bladder or an intestine or something, and they wash it and clean it and sterilize it, because it has that elastic type of feel to it. You know, they could use it.
Are we really having a conversation about ancient condoms?
Hey, y'all brought it up.
I mean,
I did not bring it up.
It's pertinent into the conversation. I'm just saying that, hey, it's not that okay. If they had a fling, it's not out of the realm of possibility that she got pregnant with this kid before. Yeah.
It's not. I'll give you this. Like, well,
I just don't care. It's like why? Like what? Like I love Ridley Scott, but of all the movies to do a sequel to, why this one? I mean, I know why. It was a popular
Money.
movie.
Yeah,
popular.
It's popular. People like it.
Yeah, maybe it's because I just didn't like it. I was like, I don't want to watch this.
Yeah, because I mean, I wasn't even a fan of Gladiator 1, but you know,
Spartacus, in my opinion,
is Gladiators and has Denzel. Of course, I'm going to watch it.
Spartacus destroys this franchise.
Well,
like Spartacus does everything
by
right.
far.
To think about, what they try to do with Gladiator. In my opinion. But
granted, it's easier to do it in a TV series.
Yeah, that's
versus,
true. But with the amount of stuff, they tried to stuff into the first movie, maybe they should have made it like a mini series or something.
Yeah, I know, because they crammed so much stuff in that movie.
Yeah.
And hold on, and another reason why they're saying this movie is so good, because there's nothing out right now besides this movie.
That doesn't matter though. If people like it, they like it. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
Right now, it's got 71% on Rotten Tomatoes, and most of the critics have given it good reviews.
They should have done something with Pedro Pascal, like change his hairstyle or something.
Well,
because like when I see him, it doesn't look like he's should be there. I guess because I've seen him in that same hairstyle in so many different movies.
Yeah.
Like do something,
I love that guy, but he is in literally everything.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
He's gonna play the new Mr. Fantastic Four movie.
Which he doesn't look the part.
Yeah, I don't think he looks the part either, man. I think they should.
No.
I think they should just went with the guy that they had playing Mr. Fantastic in the multiverse movie or whatever.
Jim? He's
Jim from The Office? Yeah,
John's name, but I thought he looked the part. Like he looked like he could. And I was convinced by him when he was playing him. I was like, okay.
I don't know.
Do it.
I don't like him either. I thought that was more of a joke. I think it's his. I don't know. Something about his face. It just doesn't. Or maybe I just seen too many episodes of The Office, so it's hard for me to see him as anything else. But he looks better. He looks better than I think that was another thing too. I think maybe if they were to shave, if he didn't have that full beard.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
because I actually think the original Mr. Fantastic, I thought he actually looked like Mr. Fantastic. It's just the movies.
I thought he was too young. I thought he was too young.
You thought he was too young?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's something we haven't talked about. How do we feel about Robert Downey Jr. being Doom?
I don't care. I'm pretty much done with Marvel. With the MCU.
I think it's pretty stupid for them to do that.
Well, you know what? I'm actually going to hedge my bets this next.
I get why they're doing it. I mean, especially after the fallout with Kane, the Conqueror.
That's bullshit. We all know that.
They're trying to bring back those fans. They're trying to get that revenue stream back and what better to do that than to bring back a fan favorite, which is Robert Downey Jr.
Hold on, our beloved host said it the other day. He posted something on Facebook when he saw the new Captain America poster. This movie will flop.
Flop like
it's gonna flop.
Ass cheeks. Yeah, I mean, nobody cares about Sam Wilson. Nobody cares about that dude, man. Look, I could be wrong.
But it to me, it just doesn't look good. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah. I mean, he's a side character. He's always going to be a side character. I don't think he's a real draw.
He's a sidekick in the comic books. He always has been Captain America's sidekick.
That's what I'm saying. I don't see him being a major draw. You can't just stamp Captain America's name on something and expect it to be really, really big. But I could be wrong. Maybe people want to see something a little bit more down to earth when it comes to superhero movies, which I hear this movie keeps things a little bit more on a human level, even though you got a big ass giant red Hulk.
I'm about to say you have Red Hulk.
Yeah, but I don't think this is going to be some galactic world-ending whatever. It's probably going to be more like espionage type of thing going on.
Well, what they're trying to do is, you remember our favorite Captain America movie? It's the second one. And that was pretty good, but that was on espionage, really. But
my thing about Sam Wilson is he ain't got no powers. Like some of the feats they show him doing in the television. I mean, in the trailer, it just doesn't. It's like, well, how's he doing this? Now, I did read that. I did read that his new suit was made by the Wakandans and is vibranium, so maybe it can absorb a lot of the energy. So when he's like landing and stuff like that, it doesn't, shatter his knees and feet.
Those old Ricky ass knees.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know, man. I would have went a different route. I wouldn't have. I think that he's okay in a series, but a whole movie, like a big budget movie that they've spent almost $500 million on, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Dang, man, they missed a great opportunity to go with the mutants. That would have been perfect for them to bring it back down to Earth, and you can get some really good stories out of the X-Men catalog. That people relate to, and I think that's what made the first phase and the second phase really good for MCU is that even though you have like these extremely powerful characters and they're doing all these amazing things, but the characters were really relatable. You know what I mean? The only one that I thought that they really just couldn't figure out how to get him to relate, and they kind of did like the whole was Thor, and that's the reason why they did the whole comedy route to try to, but it just didn't really work. But all the other characters,
and that was a mistake. I think that the route I would have went with Thor is that the route that they aren't actual gods, that they are just extremely advanced beings, and their technology is so advanced that it seems like magic, and they live in this other dimension. And I would have went the route that Thor is trying to live up to what his father was, but his father had, and they kind of hinted at this in Ragnarok, his father had to do some very dastardly things to get to where he is. Like, and I would have ended one of the arcs with a showdown between Thanos and Odin. And that's how Odin passes away. And that's what changes Thor's outlook on things. He becomes more humble and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I would have done something like that because it would have showed you just how powerful an Asgardian, especially an All-Father Asgardian, is. Like, he goes toe to toe with Thanos and almost kills him, but he's just so old that he dies in the process. Because if you read the comics with them fighting, I mean, they go, whew, they almost destroy Asgard. Like, it's really dope. It's really dope. I would have done something like that because it would have showed you just exactly who you're dealing with somebody like Thanos, that he could match someone like Odin. And it also shows you that the Asgardians aren't a laughing matter. And they kind of hint at it because remember, Thor says it in the first Avengers. He was like, if you do this, it would tell other species out there that
you're ready for a higher level of
warfare. Yeah. And they sullied all that with all the overly comedic takes on Thor. Like that
Asgard in general.
Yes, it's a joke. It's a joke, And I think that third, was it the third Thor movie? What was Love and Thunder?
That was the fourth one.
Yeah, the fourth Thor movie should have been straight action, like just straight Thor action, and him going to his roots, his warrior roots, him having an adventure out in space and just tearing shit up, man. And just I don't know what the exact story would have been, but that whole where he's like basically like, because what I read was that Wakiti guy, whatever the hell that guy's name is, who directed it, that he was essentially he wanted Thor to be kind of like Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China, which that's not Thor. Yeah, it's not Thor. Terrible. I like Jack Burton; he's hilarious, but that's just not Thor. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a different type of story.
Yeah, and he went crazy with that, and I think that ruined the franchise, in my opinion. I don't even think Chris Hemsworth was that pleased with it. To say the truth.
Oh no, he was very upset with how the whole thing transpired.
Yeah.
But
right,
I mean, even the end of what is that? What was the third one? Thor. Well, no, it was
Ragnarok.
11th Thunder. Ragnarok. I mean, I didn't really even like how that one ended. I didn't like how it ended with Asgard being destroyed.
Yeah,
and how everyone got on the ship and just kind of flew away.
Just
It
dipped
was
out
like
of there.
it was like what?
Didn't they go to Earth?
No, remember
Yeah.
they just went out to Earth. I mean, they just went out into space and then they ran into Thanos. And then that's how Infinity War starts.
Yeah, but in Love and Thunder, though, they eventually end up on Earth.
Yep.
Well, no, they ended up on Earth right after the events of
No, my point is that they eventually end up on Earth, like at Asgard, like New Asgard is on Earth.
There goes like
Yeah.
New Zealand or something. Like even that, it's like no.
And they did
like,
I know they did that in the comics, but it's like that you don't have to do everything that's in the comics, man. I think one way to take Thor out of the picture because he's so powerful is just go ahead and make him the new leader of Asgard. Asgard is intact, and he has duties and responsibilities.
Yeah, and that's the reason why he's there.
When he returns, it makes it that much more impactful and powerful. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But having him go through all these, like, yeah.
Well, they're doing a soft reboot after this next Avengers movie, so who knows?
Who cares? I don't care.
They do a hard reboot. What do you mean?
I think we need something new. We need a new genre. I thought it was gonna be anime adaptations, but it seems like a lot of those are flopping in the theaters.
Well, I tell you, if I'm gonna go to comic, we're going to still have comic book movies that the output that they're doing it. I'm gonna put my money behind DC this time because like the Penguin was very good.
I haven't watched it yet.
I heard it's good. I haven't seen it yet.
It's very, very good. I mean, I really don't have any complaints about that. And if they kept out the character, they kept out Batman, they kept out Commissioner Gordon, all the major Batman characters, and they introduced people where they needed to. Like they introduced Catwoman, being the mob boss's daughter, and connecting her to the mob boss's other daughter by the end of the series. And
but is that official? Is that official the new DCU, or is that a standalone thing? Because I'm sorry, that Batman does not work with the new Superman thing that they're creating. Have y'all seen the new Superman? I got it up right now. And and give me your thoughts about this new Superman look. And
he looks
what I'm looking at, is that real?
It's real.
It's definitely real. This is real. Like this is the actual look?
No.
Yep, that is
right. You can't be serious. They can't be serious.
No, we're serious. They're serious. They are serious.
They brought back the red underwear.
Yep, they brought it back.
Nobody liked that, bro. What are they doing?
Brought it back. And I'm sorry, but his costume looks like something out of like
that looks
show.
Ridiculous. That looks like
no. It looks about like Party City, bro.
That looks like something you would go to like a Halloween costume.
Cosplayers do better.
Like they cannot be serious.
I can't stand Zack Snyder. You guys know I don't like. Look, I don't know.
It's not Zack Snyder.
I know. If you let me finish my point, I don't know about it as a person. He might be a cool guy, but as a director, I just can't. Most of his work I just can't stand. But I have to give him credit with Henry Cavill's casting, and I have to give him credit with some of the redesign of the suit. I think there's some things they could have still done better on Man of Steel's suit too. But I'm sorry, it's just way better than.
I have to look this up. This can't be real.
Oh no, this is definitely real, John. This is definitely real. The only thing I don't like about the Man of Steel suit is that I thought it was the colors are too subdued.
I actually like that. I
don't like that because
I don't like that bright. I don't like that big bright blue, and I like how it's more
symbolic.
Tones.
No, I don't like it because it's symbolic of what Zack Snyder did with the entire Man of Steel.
Oh well, yeah. But I mean, I'm not talking about that. Like the actual look is.
Look at it. Look at it. Like this. You can't tell me he doesn't look like a gangster right here. He looks like an Italian gangster,
especially with the cleft chin. I remember
when these images came out from Man of Steel. I was like, why does he look like that? Like, why does he look evil? You know what I'm saying? Why does he look like he's gonna, bust somebody's kneecaps? Yeah. I didn't like it. I like the suit, but yeah.
No, Brian, no. This can't be real.
It's real. It's real.
I don't believe it.
I think the worst Superman of this current era is the one right below it, Tyler Houlton.
Yeah, you know what's wrong with this actor as Superman? He doesn't have the strong jaw. His jaw looks weaker than the other one, so he doesn't look as strong. Like that looks like a bodysuit. Like Henry Cavill, he looks like he could fill that suit out, even though I'm sure he has pads in this one too. But this clearly is a bodysuit. You know what I'm saying? And his facial structure, he just doesn't. It's just not there, in my opinion.
They did Henry
I hear
Cavill.
I hear some good things about that show, though.
There's no way.
John, way.
Bro, they can go ahead.
Wait.
It's gonna flop.
Well, I don't know.
DCU is not gonna survive.
To be fair,
John, it's not gonna survive because this looks like hot garbage.
Well, to be fair though, John. To be fair, these are behind the scenes shots. It's not like the fully edited whatever. We haven't seen the first trailer. And I've heard some bad things about.
He's got red underwear on.
Yeah, they might do a Spider-Man thing. Hold on. They might do a Spider-Man
got
thing.
red
Spider-Man start off with a bad outfit. He got a better outfit later. They might do that. You know,
they need to do something because
they might do that, bro. That's the thing with Spider-Man, right? They give him a trash outfit to begin with. He guys upgrade later. You know.
My thing is with the Superman suit and the underwear thing, it's like, why don't you just have a seamless bodysuit like how they did in Man of Steel? But if you want to still kind of do a callback to that, just have a segment of the full bodysuit where there's a part where his nether regions are that's kind of red. You know what I'm saying? But it has like a little different design, but it's still seamless with his bodysuit. Why the belt? Like even the underwear has belt buckles, not belt buckles, but belt loops.
Yeah, but this is terrible. This is
terrible. To be fair though, John, I think this movie's inspiration is what's the Superman one where Lex Luthor helps him and Lois have a baby? What's it called? Is it called All-Star Superman?
Yeah.
I think this was the inspiration. So I think this is why he went that route, is this right here. And this was a very, very popular take on Superman.
I mean, that only works in comics. So that look can only work in comics. That's not.
Do you see it, John? I think that's the goofy in real life. Yeah, I think this is his inspiration. That's why he goes this way. But this story is much more lighthearted. So that's what I'm saying. It could work. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, but just upon just first viewing it, I'm not a fan.
It looks horrible.
Yeah, I think Lois
looks so bad.
I think she gets superpowers, right, in this?
She does.
The bright red boots. Oh man, that's bad. Yeah.
That just doesn't work for realism. I'm sorry.
No, man.
For the comic one, it works. It was okay.
I'll say this. I think we're looking at it in an isolated way. But I'm like, if the story's really good, if it's heartwarming, if the acting's really good, and this look might fit the feel that he's going for. You see what I'm saying? And we might be like, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. Because one thing I'll say again about Zack Snyder, like, okay, at least he made Superman's suit fit the feel he was going. It was a shitty feel. I don't think it was right for Superman. But he made it that. But there's a reason why he took the underwear away. He made the darker tones and stuff like that because he was going for a darker, grittier version of the character, which just didn't work in my opinion. But so again, I think we're looking at it in a very isolated way. I think we would have to kind of step back and say, okay, that's why I'm kind of giving him the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, let me see the trailer. And I actually probably will go check this out. I'll probably go check this out in theaters. I would like, unless I just get such bad reviews that I won't bother. I'll just wait for it to come out on streaming.
You shouldn't waste your money on this one.
Yeah. I'm gonna check it out. I'll check it
But
out.
hold on. They don't even have a teaser trailer yet? Isn't it supposed to come out next year?
It's It's coming. The trailer should be coming out pretty soon. I can't remember when.
Oh,
but
okay.
Pretty soon.
But to say, how are you going to drop a movie next year? You don't have no.
But I've
Well, unless it's late next year. Is it late next year?
I don't know.
You see here, Superman 2025.
Because the guy that's directing is what's his name? He directed the Guardian of the Galaxy movies.
Oh, July 11th, day before my birthday.
Yeah, it sure is. Who's the guy? What's the guy's name that directed the Guardians of the
James
Galaxy?
Gunn. James Gunn is directing this.
And again, I have some issues with that too because James Gunn,
he did the
he's very jokey.
Yeah, he did what you call it?
I know he wrote Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
See, I don't really care that much about the Guardians of the Galaxy films. I definitely don't care about Suicide Squad. Some of his other films he did, what was it called? Slither. I hated that. I did like Dawn of the Dead though, and that was a team.
Dawn of the Dead was great.
That was a team up between him and Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder directed. I think James Gunn has most of the
Zack Snyder. He didn't do.
Yes, he did.
He did Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead is his best movie.
He did Dawn of the Dead.
Exactly. That's
right.
Yeah, he was. I think that might have been his first theatrical, like full length theatrical movie.
Talk about hit or miss.
Well, it shows you with him though is when he's just directing and he has other talented people around him doing some important things like editing, directing, writing, cinematography. It sort of he works good in a team, but when he tries to do too much himself, that's when you just get Snyder's pearls, and it's just all over the map. It's just not good, So, yeah, but James Gunn, I think, has a writing credit on Dawn of the Dead. But I think they're the extremes. Snyder overdoes everything; he takes things too seriously, and James Gunn, he's too goofy. So when they come together, it works, But I think this right here, man, I don't know.
I never even seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
I just don't care for those movies. I don't think they're all that great.
I didn't mind the first one. Second one wasn't.
That's pretty good when I was a kid.
Second one wasn't too bad. Yeah, they're just fun. They're just fun movies. But I never even after Phase 3, I was kind of done. I watched a little bit of Phase 4, but it just nothing really interests. It just didn't really interest me. So a lot of times when the movies came out, I just didn't watch them because I just didn't care anymore.
I don't think.
But I'm assuming. But that was one of them though. Was Volume 3. That was one of the big releases for Phase 4.
Yeah, I don't think Guardians of the Galaxy movies are particularly funny. They're not particularly fun, or interesting. I don't think they're horrible movies.
They're movies that they're built on like having a lighthearted, fun aspect. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying, but I don't think they're particularly funny, or interesting. I don't think they're that funny.
Oh, they might. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't mind it being that, but they don't land for me. I know a lot of people like. I just don't particularly care for them. Yeah. Anything else you guys wanted to discuss? If not, we'll call it a night.
Is anybody keeping up with Hunter x Hunter these days?
No, I know they brought it back, but I'm not caught up with the manga anyway. The last thing I read, Crollo and what's his name, Hisoka was fighting. That was the last thing I have read. After that, I kind of fell off, and I know there's many chapters after that.
Well, doesn't the author get sick or something like that, bro?
Say what?
Didn't the author get sick?
Who?
And he's always sick though.
Oh,
he's always sick though. Gashi.
I mean, that's just being a manga artist, bro. You be a manga artist, you're always gonna find a way to get sick, bro.
Well, yeah, drop it off like flies.
I mean, but think about the career they chose, bro. Like they chose a pretty stressful career. Like nobody understands how stressful it is to make a manga every week. They have to work at least 80 hours, especially when you're doing it. When they start by themselves, they're working 80 hours a week. They ain't no way they working less than that, bro.
Well, no, like they're really dropping off like flies. Like we lost Akira Toriyama, and he was
it makes
basically
sense.
Retired. And
they don't make it to their 60s, bro.
Kintaro Miura,
but Akira Toriyama wasn't. He wasn't illustrating anymore. He already had his successor. His successor took over for him.
He still stressed his body out in his early days.
Yeah, I remember reading something.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Yeah, he was
stress
saying
and strain doesn't go away magically. It still stays in your body. You still took some years off your body by doing this.
Oh yeah,
I guess my thing with Hunter x Hunter is that I guess I wouldn't mind reading the manga, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of waiting for the anime if they ever comes back out.
I don't know if they're ever gonna bring that back out, man. I mean, they're so far.
Yeah.
The manga is so Brian. It's not even close.
Yeah.
Like there's so many more chapters. Like I don't even know. Like they'll probably never catch up. I mean, it's the same thing with One Punch Man. I mean, like the chapter I'm on now, One Punch Man,
fell
it's
off,
so far away. It's so far ahead of the anime.
Like
I don't get that. Why can't we get like these like shitty animes that no one knows about or cares about?
That's what I don't understand.
We can't get.
Yeah, it's just like
where's the next season of One Punch Man? Where's the next season of
Like I know for a fact more
Berserk. Like why can't we get a good rendition of Berserk? I mean, I don't understand.
Making a Berserk didn't cost us money, bro.
Netflix. You keep getting all these crappy.
You guys are forgetting, bro. We make some random anime. You don't have to put a lot into it, right? You can get a lot out. When you talk about these shows, people have high expectations. You have to put a lot into it. If you mess it up, fans are gonna be so mad, man, your whole company might fall apart. So it's like that's why they'd rather choose.
You can't really mess up One Punch Man 100 because they when they did the anime, they just they just follow the source material. They don't. If you go look at like One Punch Man and then go read it's shot for shot. It's just animated, but I think when it comes to those type of IPs, they don't deviate from the mangas hardly at all. It's just the budgets on them are so large. I just think that finding the funding for it is the issue. Worth it.
From the animation company point of view. You got to remember, they're at least the artists. They don't make no money as this.
Have they finished these Succession arc in the?
No.
Okay.
This like all the princes trying to kill each other. It happened right.
Hello. Well, yeah. Jim got killed, and they also figured out that those people sacrificed their children to get eternal life. What they sacrificed them to? Yeah. So yeah. That's what we call the man in yellow. But mom, I'm on a podcast right now. Can I talk to you later? Okay. Yeah.
The battle axe. Oh, and how do we feel about Daima?
Man, they kiddified the characters. I'm not watching that, bro. Why'd they make them all babies again, bro? I don't want to watch that, bro.
I'm watching it.
was kind of cool, but I'm like every character. I'm like, no, man.
Yeah, I'm watching it. I mean, it's not so bad. It's not as good as DBZ, obviously, but
I like it.
Why can't they just go back to making good stuff like that? Why?
Well, first of all, the creator is no longer here. Second of all, even if he was here, it would just have the same issue that he had with the end of Z. Like I was reading, I think Akira Toriyama wanted Z to end after the Frieza saga. Like Vegeta was never supposed to be a recurring character. Like he was supposed to be a one and done character.
Mm-hmm.
But he got pressured from like his publishers and stuff like that to keep the mech because it was such a money making thing.
That's one of the biggest
I think he got pressured to it, so he just kept writing, and that's the reason why he was like forgetting stuff or whatever when he was writing like the next chapters. And then like the idea that he had, you know, they didn't want to go for. So, you know, so even if he was still here, I think you would still get stuff like Super, which had like some good elements, but overall it kind of destroyed a lot of what DBZ was initially. So
that's exactly why we can't watch, brother. Miss, you've seen his previous work, and they're stomping on his grave, bro. They're not making good content.
Well,
I'm sorry, they can't
well,
make it good when you're gone.
To be fair, hold on for a second. To be fair, Carbon X, the reviews for Dama are extremely well, and it's like people accept it and they like it, so they're making their money.
Fans, they're making their money. At this point, the fans are so dedicated; they're gonna accept anything, bro. Let's be honest here.
No, like
no,
fans,
they will.
No, because when DBZ GT came out, the fans were in uproar. And guess what? It didn't do it didn't do so well as far as the reviews. They still made a lot of money off of it because of the merchandising that came from it. And a lot of people think the only reason why they did GT was to profit off the merchandising at that time at the end of the 90s, which it was true. They made a lot of money just off of the merchandising, but the actual anime, it was not well received at all. Where Dama is well received. People like the show. You know what I'm saying?
I really like it. I mean,
I don't mind it. You know what I'm saying? I watch it. You know what I'm saying? It's just not as good as Z. It's just not as good as
Z. Is it as good as Super?
It's better than Super. I would say
I would say yeah, it's probably better than Super. But that's only because Super, I mean, let's be real. Super for the first like 50 or 60 episodes is trash. You know what I'm saying? They redid the movies,
which was annoying. Like why?
Why? So you got 50 episodes of just crap because why? They did a crappy version.
This happened in the movie and start from there. Yeah. You know?
That's all they had. That's all they had to do. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, there were so many things going on like behind the scenes, and that's the reason why Super ended up being what it was, unfortunately. But I would say, as far as like capturing at least like some of the essence of what Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z was, Dama does that better than Super, because Super was just a bunch of scaling, and throwing a bunch of elements in there, but not really fleshing out like the details. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. One of my favorite characters that was introduced in Super is Hitman.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think as a whole, Super is just not that great. You know what I'm saying? There's certain elements in there that are really cool.
They play when Goku goes Ultra Instinct and he's fighting Jiren. That music,
that's what I'm saying. but hey, I have the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I
as a whole,
I can go back. I can start back right now, episode 1, Dragon Ball Z, and I can watch it. I've done it. I'm like a guru. I've watched it so many times because I feel like I can watch it. The storytelling is just good enough. Everything that happens, I've only watched Super once, and I really have no desire to really watch it again because
even the art is better.
Most of it, like even the artwork in some of it. There's only a few moments in Super.
Basically, the end and that Terror Power. They
throw away. You can throw away pretty much the entire Zamasu arc. Yeah. I hated that arc. That
they ruined Trunks, man.
That arc was so hard to. I mean, let's be real, man. They ruined most of the characters. They destroyed. They destroyed Goku's character. They destroyed Vegeta's character. I mean, come on, man. You had an episode with Vegeta with the pink apron on, dancing for Beerus. Come on, man. There's character assassinations all over DBS. Like, let's just be real. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like the fact that he put on the apron, but I like the character development of Vegeta, from showing him becoming a father, becoming a
no.
I don't mind that. But wait, but I will say this about the Zamasu arc, and I think that I thought was interesting. I thought the idea of basically a Supreme Kai turning evil, I thought that was interesting. I found that to be interesting.
That's what I'm saying. They always introduce.
What I didn't like was his idea of going back and possessing Goku, and I thought that was stupid. I was
like, that's my point. Who cares? Yeah, you can have a good idea, but if the execution isn't there, then it don't matter. It don't matter. That's what I said. You could throw away that whole arc. That whole arc is just garbage. It's absolute garbage. I don't care what anyone says. You can try to defend it any type of way you want it. It's garbage, man. It's garbage. Like I said,
I like the fact that Trunks was the guy who kind of was the savior at the end.
No, I hated everything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I like that. I thought that was
you're
cool.
rehashing. You're rehashing
every single time. Every single time.
Yeah,
every single time.
no, that's not my point. My point is you're rehashing something that you've already done. You already gave me a future Trunks coming back and talking about this threat or whatever. You know,
could even a character at least.
You're gonna give me the same. You're gonna give me the same.
Really should be Gohan.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Even
they
though
should
you
have been
have
Gohan.
right, come on, man. Like, it
should have been Gohan. It should have been Gohan.
You know what
Gohan
I'm
should have
saying?
realized he was getting weaker or whatever, and it should have that arc should have centered around Gohan, in my opinion.
Yeah, and then instead of you being creative and okay, even if you want to go the Supreme Kai route, right? Okay, you want to be evil, okay, that's cool. But instead of you coming up with a cool new character, cool new villain, he takes Goku's body. So we're fighting Goku this entire thing. Come on, man! Like this is elementary writing at this point. I don't care what anyone says. Even though the story wasn't supposed to continue past DBZ.
I never liked the doppelganger.
The Android and the Cell saga is the best storytelling in Dragon Ball Z. You know what I'm saying? Like that is the best storytelling. Like how everything came together and everything. That was the best part of it. And they just kind of crapped all over it with the Zamasu act with future Trunks coming back. It was just lame. And
know what I didn't understand about Super? You know how Goku goes to hell to recruit Frieza for the tournament. It's like, wouldn't it make sense to recruit Cell?
Yes.
Cell has more potential and he's more noble. So he's probably less likely to.
You can agree with Cell, but Frieza would always betray you. Like he didn't.
Cell is less likely to stab you in the back.
That's the problem. The problem is that he's a fan favorite.
Yeah.
So they pander to the fans instead look. Even that, it's just like, stop regurgitating what you already given me. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and Frieza just came back in the Resurrection F too, bro. He already had his spotlight, bro.
Yeah. Right, that's what I'm saying. Like, I gave you a pass for that
back, bro.
I gave you a pass for that one, and even though I hate that, you know what I'm saying? I hate that because the power scaling made no sense. That only works if you're going to let someone else do the job. That's why my idea would have been great if you wanted to really bring Frieza back, because the scaling just doesn't make any sense.
Why doesn't that make any sense? I thought the way they explained it actually made a lot of sense, because Frieza was always naturally
hold on.
powerful.
The reason why
they could have kept Boo, but Boo somehow fell asleep or whatever. They made some plot convenience just to get Boo out of the story. They know Boo would destroy everybody there.
Well, you're talking about turning of power. He's talking about Resurrection of F. You're talking about two different points.
Either way, it makes sense because Frieza is naturally extremely powerful, so he never really.
Well, the reason why I say,
if he actually puts in some work,
Okay. Yeah. I'm not saying that it doesn't work. All I'm saying is that the scaling, like, we're not talking about you got a little bit more powerful or even halfway more powerful. You're talking about you're skipping to
God level, dude.
You're skipping 5 different power scales.
But with how powerful Frieza is, it kind of makes sense.
I get that. I understand that. Like, he come out the womb just strong. I get that. I'm not saying that he can't jump up.
Frieza and his father are mutants of their own race.
Right.
Yeah, so he has a lot of natural,
natural ability. But just because you're naturally strong doesn't mean you have natural potential.
That's why he trains.
Right. That's what I'm saying. So if you're saying that, so then why when he went to Earth after the Frieza arc, why didn't he just destroy everyone that was there?
I mean, after the Frieza arc, because he didn't attain that power. He just got some enhancements with electronics.
What I mean is that if
he didn't train for it. He didn't.
I understand that, Brian. I understand that, but you're saying like, okay, Resurrection F. He's like, okay, I'm gonna go train, and then I'm gonna go.
Because there's a good chance he still would have gave Goku a good fight when he came back to Earth.
No, he was not even close.
I don't know, maybe not, because I know Goku was training with the Yard Rats.
Yeah, like he wasn't even close. Remember, he came to Earth. Goku went Super Saiyan, but he stopped Trunks Super Saiyan form with a finger, and Frieza couldn't even touch Trunks. That's how much stronger.
So the logic follows, because he didn't.
No,
train,
what I mean is
train to get more powerful. He just got some little cybernetic enhancements or whatever.
No, what I mean is, okay, if your potential is that high, you literally he could have just ran around for 10 minutes and got strong enough. If 3 months got him that much stronger between base Frieza and Golden Frieza, he literally could have trained for a day. He could have ran around the block and got strong enough to be.
That's not true, because him running. Because remember, when you're that strong or that powerful, you have to think. It's kind of like when you lift weights. Like if you lift a 10-pound weight every day, right? Eventually, they ain't gonna do much for you. You got to go up to 20 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, no, he's not gonna just be running around the block.
Yeah, what I mean is, he doesn't have to train.
Because from what I can remember now, didn't he go to some kind of like, he went to some kind of time chamber?
No, you're talking about Black Frieza. That's a whole different discussion. We're talking about Golden. We're talking about Resurrection Frieza,
to where he could fight like
when he got revived. Yeah, he went and trained for 3 months.
3 months, yeah.
And in 3 months, he was able to
train with, dude.
He was training with that big tall dude.
I mean, who can you train with? Level, that's what I'm saying. Who can you train with?
It wouldn't be a proper fight, because Goku has so much battle experience over him that it wouldn't have been a fair fight, even with his golden.
There was a lot of stuff about Resurrection after didn't make any sense.
It makes no sense.
When Goku got stopped by that laser beam.
Yeah, like I mean, that's what I'm saying. The writing.
There's something that wouldn't happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. DBS is as far as the writing aspect, as far as the scaling, it's just all over the place. Nonsense. It makes no sense. But in 3 months of training, he skipped level 1, level 2, level 3, Super Saiyan God, and the very first form of Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan. That's 5. You dropped 5 levels.
But that makes
godly amount of power.
But that makes sense But it makes sense for Frieza though, because
literally God tier.
I know, yeah. But didn't Beerus and all those guys even talk about how Frieza could have been a candidate for a God of Destruction because of how powerful he was? So here, let me finish the point, John. So the point I'm trying to make is I think the scaling works because, I mean, Frieza said it himself. He's like, I never had to train. I never had to push myself. You know what I'm saying? So I think pushing himself for 3 months got him to a point where he could at least go toe-to-toe with these guys. But even Frieza and Vegeta was like, look, you trained for 3 months. You thought that was going to be enough. It wasn't enough. You know what I'm saying? But if he would have, like he did, like what you actually said, you would have went for a couple of years or something like that, he probably would have got to a point where he would be able to easily defeat them. Kind of like what he did.
That's eventually what happened.
Yeah. To me, the scaling makes sense for someone like Frieza, who's already extremely powerful, who's never had to train a day in his life. You know what I'm saying? So his natural potential is just off the charts.
I'm not saying that. You're missing my point.
Well, I think your logic about him being able to running around the block, I don't think that makes any sense. No, he still has to push himself. Yeah,
it does. If it took you 3 months, it's 3 months. Hard training, John. Hard training. Yeah, but I mean, okay, it's 3 months. That's 3 months. If it takes you 3 months to jump 5 scales.
No, you see, that's the thing. That's the thing. You're looking at it from Saiyan scales. Look at it from a Frieza race scale. This scale is gonna be up the chart.
There is no. But that's the thing. Brian, that's the thing. There is no efficient canon Frieza scale or Frieza race scale. The only scale we have is
story right here, Brian.
It's the only scale that we have is the scales of the Saiyans. That's the only scale that we have.
But that's the same. You're comparing it to another race.
No, I'm
physiology. Hey,
I'm comparing it to just strength, just straight out strength. Like, okay, are you stronger than someone? Are you?
Yeah, but they're different species. Though. It's kind of like you can't. It's kind of like you can't compare a human to a Saiyan. Saiyan scale much faster, much stronger than humans do. They just do.
Yeah, they do.
So why can't the same be the case for Frieza's race? I'm not scale faster and stronger than
Brian, I'm not saying that. You're saying that. The writers aren't saying that. They just said like, hey, he gets stronger because he naturally is strong. They didn't say like, hey, his race, but they have all this potential. They never
said it outright, but if you know anything about
they didn't write anything. It's just stuff that they just put in there. You know what I'm saying? There is no actual evidence for any of this stuff.
I mean, I agree.
Everyone's just inferring, like, okay, well, we guess that's what it is.
I agree. Maybe they could have, they could have wrote it better. But I mean, anyone who knows anything about Frieza knows that he's a mutant of his own race. He's extremely powerful, even for his own race. And we know that he was a potential recruit for the God of Destruction if anything happened to Beerus. So we know he's extremely powerful, and we know because of Dragon Ball Super that there are beings out there who don't have to have godly ki to match gods. Hit's one of them. Jiren's one of them. There's probably a couple other ones. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Hit's not even one of them.
Hit is one of them. Hit was going toe to toe with Super Saiyan Blue.
Super Saiyan Blue, but Super Saiyan Blue.
That's God ki. That's God ki.
It's God ki, but it's not God level.
It is God level.
No, it's not. Well, it depends because. Remember, they're still not even.
If we want to be exact, Super Saiyan Blue has taken an L on every fight he's ever been in.
Yeah, he's kind of right.
I mean, pretty much. I mean,
yeah.
Look, you know what? A lot of people actually have a problem with that. I really don't necessarily care about that as much. Look, Goku. Everyone talks about how Goku has plot armor. Goku has been taking L's almost from the beginning of Dragon Ball Z. Okay. He arguably, well, not arguably, he lost to Raditz. You can say that he lost to Vegeta the first time. You know what I mean? He didn't actually kill Frieza. Like that's not Goku's. Like that's not the point. The whole point is Goku needs help. That's why I like Goku so much. People say he has plot armor. He's always doing. Well, no, actually he doesn't. You know what I'm saying? He always needs the help of his friends to get past any type of obstacle. It's just that's like his whole point. He finds a way to win. You know what I'm saying? Even if that means that he dies.
I've never liked the idea of him achieving Super Saiyan God by a whole bunch of Saiyans coming together and holding hands.
That's Dragon Ball Super. That's what I'm saying. It's lame. It's lame. That's what I'm saying. The writing is garbage.
Yeah, it says it a way cooler way about making Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan God than that, the hug.
My idea of how he became Super Saiyan God, well, actually, how both him and Vegeta became Super Saiyan God, or was able to tap into the God ki, it would have made sense, and it would have made sense with the Z. Like that's
written the idea down so we can do.
I have not written it down. I do need to write it all down because
Super Saiyan 4 is better, bro.
But the issue with GBS is that a lot of the things that they set in place, like the lore of Dragon Ball Z that they set, they kind of destroyed in DBS, and that's the reason why I don't really care for it as much. Is because you've kind of just destroyed what would made DBZ cool. You know what I'm saying? And that's what makes it lame. You know what I'm saying? Like they take some things, but just like what you said, the whole doing the ritual thing. You know what I'm saying? That's not how they attained Super Saiyan. You know what I'm saying? How he attained it was what made it cool. How Vegeta became a Super Saiyan is what made it cool. That's what made you like, yeah, that's tight. You know what I'm saying?
That's one thing I have to agree with you.
Everything at TBS is like
John, I have to agree with you because I think that it diminishes Super Saiyan God in a way that, because it's not something that he attained with his own will and power and training or having to go on some great adventure. It was, we got to put these Super Saiyans together. But then Vegeta does attain it, but they don't tell you how.
Well, after the events of what is that? Not Resurrection of F, but the first one, Battle of the Gods. He goes and trains with Whis. He secretly goes and trains with Whis, and during that training is how
process. What's the process though? Because if Vegeta can do it, Goku definitely would be able to do it. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I personally think because he was part of the ritual, he got somehow he I don't know. They never really explained
stupid.
It.
Like, come on.
You know what I'm saying? But that's my point. It was lame. It's lame. You know what I'm saying? It's lame. Instead of doing something cool, you know what I'm saying? Something that's more fitting for the Saiyans and how they progress. You know what I'm saying? Which I thought they did a good job with that at Tournament of Power. They should have did the same. They should have had that same type of progression. Like how he got Ultra Instinct is how he should have gotten God Key or access to God Key. In my opinion, it should have been through trial and tribulation. It should have been through pain. It should have
been the adventure that they went on.
It should have been through, You know what I'm saying?
I agree. That should have been
the
adventure.
buddy. Oh, go ahead.
Instead of just doing a whole bunch of tournaments, have an adventure. That was what have Goku and Vegeta go on this adventure to these other universes and stuff like that, and then that's how they are able to find out how to achieve this ability or whatever. You know,
that's why I say I actually enjoy Daima better, because they brought it back to what the core of Dragon Ball is, and that is the adventure.
Yeah,
going to a new place, meeting new characters. You know what I'm saying? Figuring out how to overcome obstacles. That's what made Dragon Ball Z cool. You know what I'm saying? With DBS, it's just like it's the whole buddy
it's a spectacle
with Beerus and Whis and all that stuff like that. It's like I kind of like it, but I kind of don't. Like I actually wanted to see Beerus be somewhat of he should be more of like an anti-hero, or not really. It's like you got Beerus, so you have literally the strongest person on your side. There's no stakes. Why? Because Beerus and Whis can just fix everything.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, even Frieza was just like, okay, so are you going to interfere? Because he knows, like, okay, if Beerus is involved, what the fuck, what the fuck am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, Beerus should have been like, yo, I come here for a Super Saiyan God. Y'all don't got it. You're useless to me now. I'm going to destroy this fucking planet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he goes up in the atmosphere. He's like, all right, I'm about to be done with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hakai. You know what I'm saying? And then Goku and Vegeta have to go up there and they do something or whatever like that. And then my point is, like, how he gained their respect was kind of lame.
Lame, yeah.
It should he should have gained their respect, like how Saiyans gain people's respect. You know what I'm saying? And then, but the way that they did it was cheesy. It was really, really cheesy. And then they kind of took that and they used that same cheesiness throughout the entire story. If you really go back and look at it, and it really, that same cheesiness is there. You know what I'm saying? Oh, go ahead.
I think that I don't mind them opening up the multiverse and there's other universes and stuff, but I think if the stories would have centered more on Vegeta and Goku trying to find this godly key, and they go to these other strange universes and they're having these adventures and they're learning things about the nature of the multiverse and stuff like that, that would have been interesting. That would have been far more interesting, and it leads up to a universal tournament.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you basically had two tournaments. You had a tournament between two universes and the
6 and 7, and then you had the multiverse or the precursor to the.
And then you had the Zamasu,
and then you had the power, and then they just threw that Zamasu art right in the. It's just crap, man.
Which I didn't mind. I actually thought that was the most interesting story or concept, I should say. It's just like you said, it wasn't executed as well.
Yeah, I mean,
you got multiverse to explore, because remember, one of the universes got destroyed. You know what I'm saying? It could have been, they find remnants from this destroyed universe, and you figure out, how they were able to survive and what happened and why the universe was destroyed. Like, there's so many things they could have done that have been interesting that they didn't do.
there was mystery.
But
Like there was a certain level of mystery to certainly Dragon Ball, but Dragon Ball Z, there was a level of mystery. When Raditz came, you didn't know who the Saiyans were.
yeah.
You didn't know what the Saiyans were about. You found out that Goku was a Saiyan, but you don't know who they are. You don't know why they're coming, other than to make a wish. After the Saiyan art, you have to go.
I'm about to sign out.
All right, man.
Oh.
We about to end it anyway.
Yeah, I know.
No, but
we've gone on from so many other different topics.
But all right, guys.
Anyway, yeah. I guess we call
next
that
time. When is the next time you guys want to meet up?
next Friday's fine.
Okay.
Another
Well,
week.
just write down whatever topics you want to talk about and send them to me.
I didn't really talk this time around.
All right.
All right.
Talk to you guys later.
All right. See you later.
All right.